Hello, mic check 1 2 1 2. Mic check 1 2 1 2. Mic check. Hey. Boop, boop, boop. Hello. Yes, it is. I'm still trying to get my crap together here. Hello. So, bear with me. I'm gonna try and maybe turn off the message part. Maybe that'll look better. Oh yeah, that looks a little better. Okay. Sorry about that. Well, let me just put it out as an update and social media and blah blah blah. So everyone can join in on the fun. Sorry. Worst stream ever. All I'm doing is typing. Guess that's the punishment for tuning in early. No, just kidding. Hopefully it'll be fun. Okay, so I got an update out. I'm getting there. Looks like we got 5 viewers already. Now to use my Hootsuite thing. So is there anything in particular you guys want me to talk about? I assume you can hear me, hopefully. I am a tad low. I guess, well, I don't know if there's a volume setting. Maybe I just have to speak louder. Let me play around with that. Is there, I don't know, is anyone streamed on. I did one like test stream on. Uh, Now it looks like. It looks like I guess I'll just have to speak up. It doesn't seem like. I don't know. I guess maybe there's a headset thing. I don't know if that'll work. I suppose I can try. That's not a bad idea. We'll see if that helps. I assume you can still hear me though? Oh, I have so many things in this bottom. Has anyone done this Twitch streaming on the PS4 before? Does it use the little earpiece mic? Maybe. I guess we'll find out. Okay. Oh, yeah. It says that it switched to the headset. So I guess that's good. I guess that is that clearer? Can you guys hear me better now? Let's see, get my crap together. Probably don't need my Kermit pillow in the shot. Okay, cool. I'm glad to hear the sound's much better now. What's Devastated Dreams? I'm glad you asked. Devastated Dreams is our latest game, and it's on Kickstarter right now. We'd love for you to support it. And I'm going to try and keep an eye on the Kickstarter. And so, I don't know, maybe we'll do something fun. Like if you guys, if we get more funds, I'll like get up and dance or something. I don't know. Or if there's something in particular you want me to do. To celebrate. I don't know. We did a dance party thing for the last Kickstarter, and people seem to get a kick out of that. Let me see if I can fix these blinds, though. We want optimum video quality here, I think. Very important. So yeah, Devastated Dreams is our latest project. We're kickstarting it now, and we have a playable demo. I think it's even better than Neverending Nightmares, and I'm really excited about it. I don't think adjusting those blinds really helped very much, unfortunately. I guess that's the way it works. Bummer. So, I guess that's life. It's going to be a little washed out with my video. I guess you can see me fine. So I guess not the total end of the world or anything. Let's see. So yeah, I would be happy to answer questions on Devastated Dreams, Neverending Nightmares, talk about the PT demo. I think the PT demo is very interesting. I mentioned it in our Kickstarter a couple times. Someone asked if I enjoyed the PT demo a good deal, and I think it's a very interesting question, and they said it's a favorite game experiences ever. And basically, I think it's weird because it doesn't work quite as much as a game. I think it's a very sort of brutal and cryptic and unpleasant experience, which I think works for the horror. But as a game, it's pretty brutal. I remember when I first played it the day it came out, I found out, oh, it's a Silent Hills thing. I'm like, oh, I got to check this out. And I was like watching other people play and try and figure out what they're doing. So we'll see if I'm any better I don't remember at all the secrets. So we'll see if I'm any better at it the second time around. And certainly you guys can coach me. Um, so let's see. No, I think you're totally allowed to stream the alpha, and I think would we definitely would. I mean, we're all for streaming and playthroughs and stuff because I think with indie development, we essentially our main barrier is not, spoilers or people finding out the secrets. I think our main barrier is just having people learn about the product. So if you uh, basically if people are streaming, if people are putting it out there, then I think that helps us, and also I think it's kind of dumb to people are supporting us, people are paying more money to get in the alpha, and so be dumb if we're like, no, you can't do what you want with it. So that's not our policy. Next question: would you ever want to try to make a Silent Hills like game? Well, I mean, I'd love to make an actual Silent Hills game. I don't know if Konami wants anyone to make any actual Silent Hills games, but I would I would like that, and certainly making a Silent Hills like game would be interesting. I mean, obviously, I try to put my own spin on every game I work on. So, I mean, I don't think I would just like clone a Silent Hill game, but I don't think that would be very interesting now. Um, I think the game being too creepy. I guess I'll take that as a compliment. And why couldn't she just wait till morning to go outside? That's a very good question, and it's a problem with the demo. We don't give you the context, but she's actually um, uh, basically having some pain or contractions, and so she wants to go see a midwife. So that's her motivation to go, but we don't have VO or whatever. So we decided just to present the gameplay more so than the story and the characters. So I'm glad you like the crib scare. It looks like we have some people. Hopefully there'll be some more stragglers on. So basically, I'll play through the game. I'll answer your questions. And I mentioned earlier, if we get more backers, I will get up and do a dance. Or if you have something else embarrassing or something funny you'd like me to do, I'm more than welcome to do it. Um, or you're more than welcome to suggest it, and I'll probably do it. So I want to make this fun, but I also want to, hopefully promote Devastated Dreams. Hopefully get you guys to help me spread the word, because it's tough. It's a tough thing to do a Kickstarter. Alan Wake, like mechanic batteries and all, maybe. I'm not super big on inventories, and so I'm not sure, but it's definitely something we'll consider. So unfortunately, I can't really start the stream at the very, very start of the demo, but imagine you saw the character wake up lying on the floor, and there's a really gross looking bug, and uh, now it's you're exploring the terrifying hallway, and certainly the graphics are very impressive. Only having to render a hallway
certainly makes life easier from a game development perspective. I'm remembering the controls looking. Biggest concern with the game's development. I mean, right now our biggest concern is the Kickstarter. Um, it's a lot of work. It's a big challenge to run a successful Kickstarter. So that's what I'm. Most of my energies is focused on. Beyond the Kickstarter, I think my biggest worry is just getting a good length of content. Um, we're aiming for maybe like 2.5 to 3.5 hours, and we're going to probably do like one ending. But it's always a challenge because people have these expectations for game length, and so with Neverending Nightmares, we created probably between like 2.5 3 hours of content. But a lot of people felt like, oh, it's only an hour and a half because they see one ending at an hour and a half. We put a lot of work into those other endings, and some of the best levels are the ones that people didn't see. Right now we're focusing on sort of all critical path content just for the time being. If we were to get to stretch goals, we might be able to put in, some branches, some multiple endings, because personally I like that. Unless it's done like Resident Evil Revelations 2. I'm not sure if you guys played that, but it kind of drove me mad because basically I lost, I missed the opportunity, or I didn't realize that I was making a very important choice. I don't know, I don't want to spoil it, but there's some very important choices in Revelations, and then if you don't like what choice you made, you have to go back and play like 2 hours of content, which is pretty brutal. Back to the Alan Wake thing. It's definitely a consideration, but I mean, the one thing is we don't want to create something that's very has a very sort of strong failure state where you basically screw yourself over. Just because I mean, from a game design perspective, that's not my favorite thing, and so I'm not sure. I want to do that in our game, but I mean, certainly it's something we'll experiment with maybe. I don't think the flashlight will be used throughout. Yep, that is a true statement. There is a lighter. There will be sections when you have neither. We're trying to mix it up. Uh-oh. So... Again, I played this. I don't remember anything about it, really. That is creepy. I really like the sort of screeching. The audio design, it really, I think, sells this well. Now that you have a child on the way, do you think you'll be able to devote the same amount of time and effort? Yeah, I think so. I mean... Certainly it's going to be a bit of a challenge, I think, to juggle it, and I'll probably take some time off at the beginning. But, I mean, one of the things that, I really wanted to do with Infinitap versus 24-karat games, so I'm not sure if you're familiar with my development history, but I went indie in, I think it was July 15th of 2008, so I've been doing indie development for 3 days over 7 years. And so I worked on average 80 hours a week for about 4 years on Retrograde. It was very difficult on my relationship with my extraordinarily patient wife, and it was very hard emotionally. And so one of the things with Infinitap is I want to build a place where we don't have to kill ourselves to make games. And certainly we put in, a lot of work at the end, but, we're trying to get a good quality of life as well as we can. Certain things she won't do because she's with child, say like climbing over a rock because she's scared she's fall. Yeah, I think so, and I think that's something I want to play up a little more, because right now, if you look at our character, basically, I hate to say it, but she could just be overweight. She's not doing anything super specific to the pregnancy, and I think that that's a missed opportunity. I think we want to build sort of a bond or establish some feeling, some connection between the character and her child, and so I think being afraid to do something physical because of the pregnancy. Okay, I can't remember if I can open doors. I think I answered all the questions, hopefully. We got 20 viewers, so yay. Oh, we got 2 backers. 2 more backers. Awesome. Or maybe 1 or 2. More backers. Did you guys want me to dance? So do we want celebratory dances? Is that a thing we want? So if I get 1 yes, then I'll get up and dance. Thank you for your support. Certainly, I think hopefully the streamers a lot of backers, but I'm trying to do like a telethon thing where, like you call in and then you do a new pledge and then I do something stupid as a reward. I don't know. Do you guys think that would be fun? I don't know. I thought it would be fun. Anyone want to see me dance? Just say yes. And it's happening. Or something else. You want to see me? I don't know what else you'd want to see me do. How much for Macarena? I don't know. Let's say if we get... well, next backer, I'll do the Macarena. Maybe at least $10. At least $10 for Macarena. Uh-oh. I saw someone there. So, oh boy. That is some creepy stuff. So to continue answer your questions. We definitely want to do some player consequence for running too long other than her just running out of breath. Firstly, the first player consequence that we've been playing with is basically the idea of not being able to aim the flashlight. But the second consequence is we're thinking that maybe the baby starts kicking or is unhappy, and we want we're toying. I hate to talk about things before I do them, but basically we're interested in maybe creating like a baby happiness mechanic, and if the baby's unhappy, then he'll kick more, and it'll sort of be a different experience, so we can establish that connection. So anyway, I've been talking up these dancing things, so I guess for the 535th backer, I will do the hammer dance. Let's see here. Oh boy, that's not working at all. Well, I don't know. Maybe back here, is that gonna work? Can't touch this. Am I doing it right? I forgot. Something Running Man? No? Maybe? Stop. Hammer time! Yeah? So 536, we'll get the Macarena, and I don't know, 537, balance something on my head? How does that sound to you guys? So tell your friends, watch me make an ass out of myself. Let's see, was that a good dance? Did I do it right? I don't know what I'm doing. And certainly with this couch here, it makes it less appealing. So sorry about that, guys. Balance, and happy ending, baby turns mom into ghost mom. Certainly, the endings aren't set in stone yet. But, sorry, my laptop is turning off. So, oh boy, this is a Sync Baby. It's very Eraserhead-esque. I don't know if you've seen the movie Eraserhead. It's really good. It's interesting because it's also about David Lynch's fears of being a parent, It's a little darker than. Well, I mean, I don't know. I feel bad for. I think it was Jennifer Chambers Lynch, who's now a director. Who I think they made a documentary about how she has the worst luck in the world of any director. And like she did this horror movie Hiss, and it was a disaster. I saw it; it was definitely a disaster. But anyway, like Eraserhead's sort of exploring that, but it's he ends up killing the baby in the end, and that's not really what I'm feeling personally. I definitely don't want to go that direction. But is it going to have branching paths and different endings? I think with our regular funding goal, no. We want to focus on, critical path. We want to focus on getting that length up. Because I think had we just structured, Neverending Nightmares linearly and put all of our content in the critical path, I think people would have enjoyed it better, but they reached an ending and then they didn't feel like they had to explore the rest, which is a real bummer because, again, that's some of my favorite stuff. And so I want everyone to get the complete experience, and also I'd be lying if I weren't worried about the Steam refund policy with the 2-hour cutoff. I mean, I don't like to say that we're adjusting our game design based on that, but it's definitely a consideration. So I'm glad you like the 536, awesome. I said 536 was Macarena. Macarena, 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 hey, Macarena. So 537 is bouncing on my head, and I take suggestions. Oh wow, there's a combination. So this is pretty creepy game. It's a little less creepy when you're on the stream, but I mean, I'm pretty. I think it's creepy. I'm trying. I guess talking about. I guess I'm talking about my job and our work. So takes a little bit of the edge off, but I love the atmosphere. I think they did an amazing job with the atmosphere and the audio, and it's really brilliant. But I think, as a game, it's really brutal and difficult, and it drove me mad. I was trying to watch like Soapy Warpig, who I think was the one who first streamed the secret ending. I was trying to watch her stream and figure out what she was doing differently than I was doing differently, because I was busy at the time. I think it was towards the end of Neverending Nightmares. I'm like, I don't have much gaming time, but I really want to see this, so I'm trying to like force myself through it, which again probably isn't the best way to enjoy the game, but I get frustrated easily. So yeah, so I mean, I think now maybe I can enjoy it a little more. Oh, shit. Okay. I got a big shiver out of that, which is usually my, that's sort of my scariness thing. So I've been thinking about watching Hiss. Yeah, I don't know if you really want to do that, but it is interesting to see that they incorporated a dancing scene into a horror film, so it might be worth seeing just for that, but it's like the worst dance scene ever because it's like slow motion footage or something, and it doesn't actually look like a dance. So if you notice his leather jacket arm, it looks very Daryl from The Walking Dead, like Norman Reedus is the actor, so that's a little clue. Did you finish it before? I did, but I waited like a month until someone came up with the most crazy convoluted steps, but they actually worked the second time. So the convoluted steps actually are quite quite, do work, Lareth or whatever it was. So we'll see. Maybe someone can look that up for me when we get there. Something interesting, I have a speaker here. I went a little overboard with my surround sound setup, but it's really adds to this demo because you hear that step behind you, that knocking, and I think it really helps. And again, then you turn around, there's no one there, and that emphasis on audio and creepy sounds is something we really tried to do with Neverending Nightmares and Devastated Dreams. So we haven't got any new backers though. Come on, guys! Don't you want me to be an ass, make an ass out of myself? Maybe if it goes up, it's what, 18,688. If it goes up $10, I'll do something stupid if you want me to. What was it? Balance something on my head while playing. Let's see. Have you seen your shadow? How it keeps getting worse in this game? I have not seen my shadow. Is there more info on that? If you had to put this game in a specific horror genre, which one would it be? I would, and this is something interesting people have said about Neverending Nightmares, which I think has some truth to it, where it's not really a game. And I would say that this isn't really a game. I would say it's a horror interactive experience. And I think that's certainly true for Neverending Nightmares. Certainly we have a little more gamey elements, but I would say, playable trailer, interactive experience. But I think the interactive experience is a great genre. I think by putting game mechanics in it, it can be limiting. And so I think what they did was truly remarkable and really, unique, and I'm not sure that had it just been a game, that it would have been as good. So let's see. Yeah, something about Jareth, 10 steps. Yeah, I vaguely remember that, but it's a very specific step. So we're going to see the forest and weather actions, maybe the trees, scary as hell, punish. Well, I mean, certainly we're definitely going to experiment. We're going to have a lot of jungle environments, and so yeah, weather, night and day, those are things we can experiment with. So we'll see. There's also going to be other locations in the game. Look on the walls slowly. Its head is shaking bad. The walls slowly. Its head is shaking bad. I'm not sure. I followed that. More info? Can you explain a little more? So there's the zoom. I keep pressing X, but I don't even know if that's interact. I think it might just be zoom, which is a very interesting. Yeah, Allison Road seems really cool. I think the developer said they started working on it before PT Demo, and then that sort of influenced their development. But again, I think like PT Demo doesn't really work as a game, and if you had to pay money for it, I mean, I'm sure people would, but I'm sure there would be complaints like, why is this so hard? Why do I have to do these crazy things? What were they thinking? Whereas if it's free, then you have sort of a different set of expectations, which I think worked really well for this, and especially as a promotional. I mean, I can't think of any promotional thing that has ever been as successful. I mean, arguably this would have been, more popular than the actual game. So I think it was really brilliant, and it's, a shame that not only they're not making Silent Hills, but also that they pulled this off PlayStation Network, because if you look at this and you say, this is something I definitely want to experience, it looks amazing. guess what? And you go out and buy a PS4. Too bad, you're screwed. You can't play it, which is totally a terrible thing. And it's the one good thing about piracy, right? Is that they can make versions of the game. Well, I mean, it's gonna be a long time, I think, before they have a pirated version of this playing. But I mean, I think it will happen, and I think that's good that this will still be around. When you're walking in the hall when entering, on the hall when entering. Am I looking forward to Soma? Very much so. I got to play it a bit at E3. It's really cool, but I think to some extent it's not quite what people will be expecting. It's not another Amnesia. It's almost a sort of existential dread and Philip K. Dickian exploration of what the nature of existence is. So I feel stuck, and I am kind of frustrated. I don't know if I'm doing something wrong. So if anyone has any tips, I'm very open to it. And also, I'm still waiting for a new backer to do my balance it on my head. So if you guys, and I will take a $10 pledge increase too, if you want a better tier, then I'll do the dumb stuff. But I mean, like, as a game, right now I'm frustrated. There's no guidance. I don't know what I'm doing wrong. I don't know what I can do. So I mean, I don't know. Zoom in the X. So there is an X. Oh, good call. Gouge it out. Oh, it was telling me what to do. I'm stupid. I just didn't know X. Well, I forgot that X did something, but I guess that makes sense because there was an X on the photo. What is the biggest challenge you face when developing Neverending Nightmares, and what challenges do you think you will have with Devastated Dreams? So forgive me, Lisa, there's a monster inside of me. The biggest challenge with Devastated Dreams, I think, was creating the amount of content that people were looking for. And I think we maybe missed the mark a little. Because to me, the game was something more like this. And if you look right at this game, all they have is this hallway. You never leave the hallway. And I mean, that's sort of amazing reuse of content. They created a lot of experiences. And I think, the idea is that, it's theme and variation, it's repetition, and there's a benefit to that. I think from a gameplay perspective, it makes you feel trapped, and I think that's sort of what we were going for. It's definitely what we were going for with Neverending Nightmares. Because, again, I wanted sort of that OCD feeling. Ooh, I got the fridge. That OCD, that sort of, everything stays with you and repeats and repeats. And I think that was kind of missed or not appreciated. And, so I think we were maybe misguided, or, at least guessed wrong what people were interested in. For Devastated Dreams, again, I think it's creating the amount of content, because now we know, okay, this is what people are looking for with content. They want a lot of it. They want a lot of variety. They want a lot of settings. And, I mean, certainly we're trying to, do things to basically deal with that. We're trying to, so you can see his jacket here in the mirror, but you can't see his face because that's the big reveal. But anyway, I think, just creating the amount of content, and I guess maybe the hardest thing more so is just the idea that it's in a jungle. So, we try to create a lot of interesting content in the jungle, but it's hard to make one section of the jungle feel different than the others, especially, given the lighting. So, I mean, I don't know. We definitely want to have a lot of jungle scenes. I think it's important to, the mood we're trying to create, and important to the story that we're trying to tell. But I think creating it in such a way that people are like really, feel like we're not just copy and pasting, which, is not our intent. And I think we're trying to, we spent a lot of work on that jungle. There's a lot of different types of trees. Each area has like different types of trees. We did a bunch of research on real life, interesting Filipino trees. The tree that the manananggal is, the monster that jumps down at you, that's called a balete tree, and that is rumored to have the most aswang in it. That's where aswang like to hang out. Aswang, of course, are the monsters in the Filipino mythology. Okay, I got a 37, I think $1 pledge. I guess I'll take it. So what? Now I'm trying to balance Kermit on my head while playing. Have you thought about playing with the idea of all the games being like Eternal Darkness, where you read it and you're in different timelines that have to do with the main timeline? I mean, I think that's really tough to pull off because, each game has different narrative goals, and trying to have a master plan for games with different goals, I think is very difficult. And I mean, had we started with that plan, then we probably could have done something like that, but that's not really our intention. So it'd be hard to try and fit it together, and I'm not sure what sort of benefit we would get from that. I mean, we could always do a little throwback, but and I think Adam is one of our artists, was suggesting that we include some Neverending Nightmares art. But I mean, our art style, a lot of people say it's the same. It's actually quite different, and it required a lot of work to nail. Had we stuck with sort of the Edward Gorey pen sketch, that would have saved us a lot of time. But we wanted to create something that looked new and looked fresh, and also, fit with the narrative goals. I said in my original Kickstarter pitch, someone commented on it, but the original pitch idea was that, narratively we want to explore the idea of shades of gray, but people thought it was a reference to 50 Shades of Grey, which is definitely not what we're going for. We're trying to create something very unlike 50 Shades of Grey, so I reworded that. So let's see. Is there a possibility that Devastated Dreams takes place in the Neverending Nightmares universe? Yeah, I mean, there's definitely a possibility. It's not something that, as the creator, I'm thinking about. But I mean, there's no reason they couldn't, and I mean, if at some point I have inspiration of how that would all fit together, then yeah, I mean, I could maybe do something cool with that down the line. So let's see. I am unfamiliar of Naoki Urasawa's Monster. That sounds cool, though. 50 Shades of Gory. That is a great name for Neverending Nightmares. I regret we didn't go with that name. Let's see. So I feel kind of stuck. So if anyone has any feedback or ideas, I'm totally open to trying them. this is kind of a challenging interactive experience. So, GT interview, perfect the hardest difficulty mode in retrograde. Does this include the final boss level without using any retro fuel? I was in the top 10 for that on the PSN leaderboards, and there was never able to do that. I still plan to do it every day. So, to be fair, well, I'm not very good at games, but there's very few levels on the hardest difficulty that I was able to get perfect with on the hardest difficulty. I could get perfect with retro fuel, but not without. But I felt pretty redeemed with my difficulty choices when there were people at PAX who basically got perfects on the hardest difficulty of, I think, level 8. Just by playing it only at PAX. I mean, they played it a couple times, but it proved to me that, you know, I'm not the best at rhythm games, and I'm not the best at that. So I felt like me doing a perfect without retro fuel, or with using retro fuel, was good enough, and then someone who's more of a perfectionist and has less clumsy fingers could do it. The other thing to note is we did the trick for the final boss level from a lot of bullet hell games where you shrink the hitbox considerably to make it a lot easier. Yeah, the hitbox at one point was much larger. And it was a lot harder, especially changing lanes. Getting the hitbox to work when you change lanes was a real challenge. It is definitely twisted. This is a twisted game, and it's interesting, like the fridge moves when you shine your flashlight at it more, then it gets angry. The baby's unhappy, and I don't know if the fridge is a metaphor for a womb. Some lady was telling us, my wife and I, about, childbirth, like consulting for, I don't know, some program in LA, and she was saying that the uterus is apparently suspended on tendons or something. So I don't know. Maybe this is a womb image. Challenge mode suggestion for next backer. Play with the controller behind your back. That is definitely... It's funny because I don't know, my wife thinks it's crazy. I don't know if I can do it because I think my battery has low... I have low battery, but I often play games with the controllers like up behind my head. I don't know, sometimes my arms get tired, so I mean, I have a pretty good feel for the layout of the controller. So yeah, certainly we want to do more with the light in Devastated Dreams, because, we have the turn on and off, which right now doesn't really help you at all. You just have to turn it on and then never turn it off, but that will play a role. So let's see, is there writing on the wall below the fridge? Well, there's this writing. I remember something about more writing appearing. I don't remember how I made that happen, though. Because, again, I haven't played it basically since it was new. Look at it, then look at the writing next to the phone. There's writing next to the phone. So wait, let me get a good look at this. I can hear them calling to me from... And then... Oh! Hello! So that's new, I guess. Candies. pills, chocolate bar. The detail, like, they really did a good job with the art. Oh no, now I lost an L. Now I lost an E. Someone has a much better memory than I, since I did not know how to do this. Yeah, I don't know if you watched Kroll's show, but there was something where I think it was the Too Much Tuna guys, where they're like, "Oh, hello." That's what it made me think of when I saw that hello message. Very friendly. So we got some more money, a new backer, something. Maybe, probably, hopefully. So then I guess the request was play with the controller behind my back. So is this acceptable? And like I said, sometimes I end up playing like this. For whatever reason, if I'm playing Borderlands with my wife for a long time. And she's very surprised by it. I don't know. I feel like the DualShock is an extension of my arm, so it doesn't bother me. Let's see. The hell. So maybe I didn't trigger the right event. I wonder, is there another way to play it with behind my back? Like, like below, I guess when I'm sitting, it's kind of hard. And I don't have a lot of flexibility. You need to look at the other messages to put them there. Oh, well, someone's really... Oh, no, wait, I better keep it up. I can hear them calling to me from... Nope. Still gone there. Joke question, you make sure that there's no evading loading triggers this time, and to be fair, that was an early version issue. No evading loading triggers. I'm not sure I follow. Was that a reference to the tortured little girl? Well, you feel free to clarify your joke question. I answer all questions, jokes or otherwise. Am I doing this right? I feel like I'm definitely doing this wrong. Seems like Ricketeer is the only one who knows how this works, and I totally suck at it. Let's see. I'm talking about the bug in Neverending. The dark trigger. Oh yeah, yeah. We're gonna try and get rid of bugs like that. Yeah, I don't know how we had that bug. I think you need to walk back and forth between the phone and the wall. Oh. Well, I mean, certainly the one thing that can be said about it is that it's very memorable, right? The PT demo, it's so weird and different that I think a lot of the things you do really stand out. And certainly those three circles kind of remind me of this Silent Hill weird triangle logo, so I don't know, maybe that was a hint. So, hello, and then maybe I'll walk over here. Oh yeah, there it is. I suspect it's going to say calling me from hell, and not a friendly message. Oh, let's see. Oh, we got some more money. So what's the vote? What's the vote for what I do with more money? We had Macarena, Hammer Dance. Oh, wow. Hey, I'm almost to hell. Hopefully it doesn't bring over the O. So this is like super cat hair mustache sort of obscure. Oh no! Calling me from hell. I vote singing. Oh boy, I am a terrible singer. But I will gladly sing for you. Oh no. Oh no, that's not new. So I'm gonna sing my favorite song. Loving You is Easy 'Cause You're Beautiful by Minnie Riperton, who is the mother of the very talented actress Maya Rudolph. So prepare to have your ears destroyed. So loving you is easy 'cause you're beautiful. Do 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 do. No one else makes me feel the colors that you do. Stay with me, I'll set you free. We'll make love in the springtime. Loving you, it's easy 'cause you're beautiful. Do 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 do. So, yeah, I don't know if bravo is the right word. Oh, yay, we're in like turbo creepy mode. This one drove me crazy. I was not able to get it. I think I tried to look through the hole in the wall, and the first time it failed, and that's one of the things, like sort of a game design pet peeve, is if you try something and it doesn't work the first time, then, like, at least for me, I don't really try it ever again. So I mean, like, if you have something trigger, you want to make sure it triggers the first time, or I mean, at least provide some feedback that you're doing the right thing. The eyes, yeah, the eyes are creepy. I like the animated paintings, and they have the extra speed and the blurring, which the blurring seems like it happens at weird times. So let's see. Yeah, I would sing That's Life, but I'm not sure I know that song. Is it a disco song? Because I'm totally into disco. It is awesome, and I think, I obviously am very bitter that Konami canceled it, but I think, fundamentally, the game industry is changing, and it's changing in a way that what they would call the sort of core gamers ourselves in a way that we wouldn't like. Mobile, right? Like, if I'm a businessman and I look at, let's take, for example, Mortal Kombat 10, which I enjoyed. I got the PS4 version. And then there's a Mortal Kombat mobile game, which I did not enjoy personally. I downloaded it, it seemed really boring. But if you say the budget of the Mortal Kombat mobile game was like, let's say $500,000, I don't know. That's probably right within a couple, I guess it could be up to 2 million, but I doubt it. Maybe 1 million. But then you look at the budget of Mortal Kombat 10, and that's probably 50 million. It was not the most full featured AAA game, but I'm sure they spent a lot. It could be up to 10 million. Who knows? I'm sorry, and up to 100 million if you include marketing costs. And for what they spent and what they got out of it, I bet Mortal Kombat, the mobile version, was a better deal. And I think this is something that Konami and a lot of publishers are seeing, is that they're spending a lot of money on these AAA things. They're very risky, and the return on investment isn't super solid. Whereas, in mobile, and I guess some people were saying that Konami is getting into sort of the gambling, or wants to diversify into the gambling thing, and they can, it's less risky. And so I think, horror, they have all the sales numbers for every Silent Hill game, and then, what Konami or what Kojima wanted to spend on Silent Hill, doesn't make it worthwhile. But I mean, especially when you consider that, Guillermo del Toro, probably wasn't working for free. And, I don't know how expensive Norman Reedus is. I doubt that was making or breaking the project. But then, Konami probably ran the numbers and said, we can make a good Silent Hill game for half the price, and it'll sell, 75% if we make a truly exceptional Silent Hill game, with Kojima and Del Toro. But I mean, part of it, and the sad part is that it probably was sort of a pissing contest between Konami and Kojima. Let's see. Yeah, I really don't think Microsoft will be buying the Silent Hill franchise. I mean, I don't think Konami is interested in selling, because I think, if you're looking at the valuation of Konami as a company, a lot of it is the strength of their IP, and I think you don't want to necessarily part with that IP, even if it's something you're not actively developing, because it may be worthwhile in the future. And I think, and this is another sad thing, is they wanted to resurrect No One Lives Forever, which was developed by Monolith. It was a female spy. I never played it. It looked really cool. I wanted to give it a try. I never did. Now I can't, because basically they wanted to resurrect it, but like Warner Brothers and 20th Century Fox, who both maybe own the rights to it, couldn't be arsed to figure out who owned the rights, but then, when it came down to it, Warner Brothers said, hey, you can't make the game, because we probably maybe own the rights to it, and we're not interested in developing the project. So, I mean, it's not even like, they wanted the IP for something, they just want to have the IP, they don't want other people to use it. Because again, it helps in their valuation, and I mean, it's interesting. I worked at THQ at Hamaran Studios, and I followed the THQ bankruptcy proceedings pretty carefully, and there was a lot of basically licensed titles that had questionable rights, and I think it probably even included like Attack of the Killer Tomatoes for the NES. So who, would they have the rights to put that on the Virtual Console? I don't know, probably not. But basically they just said, here's a bunch of licensed properties, the Bratz games and all these other things, buy it if you want, and they bundled them all together, and I think someone bought them. I don't know who, I don't know why, but yeah. So let's see, Konami losing money in the background, late games, retailing, sound. What do you think about Monolith's Condemned games? I really enjoyed Condemned 1. I did not play Condemned 2 because everyone sort of said that it's not very good, and the story got kind of silly. I don't know if that's the case, because I haven't played it, but maybe I'll give it a try. But no, Condemned was cool, and like, it's funny though, because when the Xbox came out, it was a launch title, and I played it, and I thought it was like weird. I didn't get that it was a horror game just from the demo that I played. I don't know if it was at E3, probably at E3, or maybe at like a GameStop or something. And like I just thought it was like a beating homeless people up simulator. Like I thought it was like a detective game because they had a few detective things in and like beating homeless people up. I'm like, I don't want to beat homeless people up. That sounds terrible. So I was kind of like reluctant to play Condemned until, more recently I realized it was a horror game and had merit. Oh, here. No. I thought this was the part with the hole. Oh boy. Does anyone use Firefox? It does not work super great these days. For me anyway, maybe just on my netbook. So let's see. Oh boy. Maybe I should switch browsers or something? Oh, darn. I've probably been missing all of your comments. The last I got was the detective aspect of the second was way more engaging. You actually had to solve the crimes yourself rather than the game holding your hand. That's cool. I like detective things. Oh my gosh. Maybe. Okay. Flash crashed. Surprise, surprise. Now I'm back. Maybe. Yeah, I like the detective stuff in the the detective stuff in the first one was really basic. Second one, let's see if I can get back. Oh, I refreshed and it cleared my chat. So if you had something to say and I didn't respond to it, I lost it. So drop me a line. Let's see. Have you ever played Illbleed? I have not played Illbleed myself. I think I saw someone play it way back when it first came out. Is that... am I thinking of Illbleed? Is that the one where you're like in a haunted house and it has like your scared meter? I think I watched a YouTube video of the ending of that game. It was super weird. But no, I haven't played Illbleed. If anyone wants to offer me any tips on how to get through this hallway, I am super open to them. And so, this, as much as I love the PT demo, which I totally do, this is a sort of frustration that I don't think works, for a game, as a player. Oh, is that it? Oh, there it is. Okay. Maybe I'm getting somewhere? Okay, yeah, so yeah, Illbleed, yeah, I saw someone play that once. I think I actually used Illbleed as an example to the artist as what we didn't want to do. If you remember the Neverending Nightmares campaign, we had a graphic of no turning back now. We had a graphic of basically what the game would look like with the crazy inventory and HUD and stuff, and I referenced Illbleed for that. I found a screenshot of the giant meter on the top of the screen. So we haven't got any new backers or new pledges, so I don't know if you have friends that are persuasive who like good deals. We still have the early bird tier, and I'll do some sort of request, so yeah. Tweet out to your friends or whatever, I don't know. I'm terrible at social media. It's kind of bad for someone running a game studio given the importance of social media. But yeah, I'm bad at it. I don't really get the whole thing. I try my best, though. Certainly I tweeted about this. So anyway, yes, let's get some more funding. Make this game happen. I will sing some more. And you will be very sorry because I'm terrible at singing. Yeah, I mean, Illbleed, they definitely had some cool ideas. like dying from a heart attack, being too scared. I think that's cool. And I like it when they try to do something new. Oh, wow. I got some video distortion. Is this where the game crashes? That's a very Kojima thing. I'm all about...
204863.
That number sounds important.
204863. 204863.
Knowing you, I was sure you'd notice this game and play it. I will never, can never forget that day 20. Oh, I guess I read too slowly. Sucks to be me. Yeah, we definitely are trending towards $126,000. But if you look at like Neverending Nightmares, you do really well at the beginning, and then you hit that sort of slow patch during weeks 2 and 3, and then things get reinvigorated during week 4. So this is the beginning. Oh, I don't think the insect was there, but this was sort of the beginning. So anyway. So I mean, definitely I want to try and get as much, funding as we can in the beginning part of the campaign, because then it makes things a little easier through the second and third week, which are really challenging, I think, from, a getting funding standpoint, but also from, a project creator standpoint, because I think, if you look at KickTrack, like in a couple days, we're gonna fall below the funding line, which, I mean, I remember when Neverending Nightmares fell below that funding line, and it was tough emotionally. And so, I mean, certainly, I'm working really hard to do everything I can to prevent that or postpone that. Because, I mean, I think it's inevitable. I think we're gonna, fall below that line at some point during the campaign. And it's tough, but I want to, do our best, try and get as much buzz, as many people as excited as they can. And I think a big part of Kickstarter is, you guys, the community, and we're all in this together, and you guys can really help, spread the word on your social networks and tell your friends. And I think that's a huge win. So, I mean, I hope you guys don't feel like I'm really leaning hard on you guys, but I mean, I think we all are in this together. And so, yeah, hopefully we can, get some funding. Come on, guys, I'll do something stupid. Yeah, sorry for the serious bit. Isn't that Kojima's birthday? I'm not sure. Funding is going better than Neverending Nightmares. Yes, but I think we might be trailing in backer count at this point in the project. And I think, from a project creator, backer count is super important. And the reason backer count is super important is because then, that's the people that they can push, they can help you tell their friends. And I think that's really where we're growing and expanding. And so I'm definitely, hoping to really push our backer count up and make sure we're getting in new backers every day. So that's a challenge. Markiplier played Neverending Nightmares after it was out. That is true. I think he also played the demo, and he really liked it. So he played the demo during the Kickstarter. I think PewDiePie played the demo during the Kickstarter, and so I don't know if you guys do Twitter, but, you know, I'm trying to get a hold of them. If you guys tweet at them that you want to see the Devastated Dreams demo played through, I think that would be a big help. I think if we get a lot of people tweeting at them, you know, then they'll take notice. So definitely, I think, yeah, and thank you for putting up the Devastated Dreams on your YouTube channel. I really appreciate that. Okay, I think maybe I'm doing the end thing. I don't remember what it was. Does anyone remember what the end was? I got the baby laugh once, maybe? I turned 12. I got the baby laugh once? No? Should I look it up? Should I keep playing? Was I supposed to be staring at that clock? And I thought that I could pick up pictures at some point. Maybe I'm not that far. Wasn't there a picture in the pause menu? That was an interesting... Walk exactly 10 paces for the first laugh. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Okay, so I've walked 10 paces. I'm hearing noises. It's after midnight. I think, wow, how did people ever figure this out on their own? Well, the very first person did it totally by accident. And then I think basically people just tried a bunch of things until they figured out what works. And, you know, people had like NeoGAF things and everyone, you know, gave their 2 cents on how to get it to work. Technically, you're supposed to say Lareth or something. Someone said that was important. I don't know if that's the case, but... Did we get another backer? We got another backer, I think. Is there something you guys wanted me to do? I take requests. You find the picture pieces, they give you part of a riddle. Eventually someone figured it out what it meant. So I think I found the picture pieces at one point and it didn't do anything for me, but... So I'm getting a laugh. Macarena? Some more Macarena? Okay, that'll happen. Macarena, 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 hey Macarena. And I would do it standing up, but where my PlayStation camera is, that makes it hard. So we'll go another time. Macarena, 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 hey Macarena. So yeah. Keep those backers coming, and I will do stupid things. Stupid things for money. That's my new plan. So I got another baby laugh? Or is that the first baby laugh? Did I reset the baby? Oh! The controller's rumbling. That's a thing. Someone said... Stay still until the controller rumbles for the second. Okay. Lareth? Do I pick up the phone? Lareth, Lareth, Lareth. 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 Lareth, Lareth. I don't know. I read somewhere that someone figured it out from the fact that it's 780 or 7800 studios. That it's that it's that Lareth somehow is the word you're supposed to say. I don't know. I never could have figured it out on my own. I get frustrated too easily. Certainly, like it's interesting if you watch like the Polygon playthrough. You know, they're like, okay, is this it? This must be it, and you know, just sort of gave up at the end. But like, I think Soapy Warpig figured it out first or something.
Same kind of food, dressed the same, sit in front of the same kind of games. Yeah, he was just that kind of guy. But then one day he goes and kills us all. He couldn't even be original about the way he did it. I'm not complaining. I was dying of boredom anyway. But guess what? I will be coming back, and I'm bringing my new toys with me.
So they did an interesting thing with the audio. It sounded like it was on the phone, and then it sort of moved to a normal, you know, 3D position speaking. Oh boy, this game would have been great. But the one thing is that I wonder is, would it have been anything like the PT demo? And my guess would be not. I feel like it would be a little more traditional of a Silent Hill game, because, like, why else would you hire, you know, Norman Reedus, aka Daryl Dixon, to be in your game if you're never going to see him, if you're only going to see him in the reflection, you know, if it's going to be like a VR thing. Which is also interesting because someone recently posted the models for, like, the protagonist in Bioshock and Bioshock Infinite, and they looked really weird. So that was interesting. You know, you don't really get to see your first-person protagonist, so it doesn't make a lot of sense to put a bunch of effort into it. So let's see. It was interesting to see what the story was going to be in Silent Hill. Certainly the story is something I really like in Silent Hill. I think they could have done something really cool. More open world. I don't know, have you played Silent Hill Downpour? Because Silent Hill Downpour has a very open world feel to it, including the side quests. The side quests are really weird, and honestly, I feel like the open world aspect didn't quite work for horror, because, you know, with horror, your focus should be not on solving these mysteries, and, yeah, 778 Studios, someone said that was some number cipher or something, but anyway, what I was saying was, with the you know, open world and the side quests and all that, yeah, I think oh, so this is the beginning that I didn't get to capture in the stream with the bug and the door first opening. But yeah, like, I don't know, I mean, like, I think the open world doesn't work for me personally. I'm not a big fan of open world games, but, I mean, just for horror, I think you want to focus on, you know, GTFO, right? Rather than you know, exploring and doing side quests and helping random people or stuff. But I mean, I don't know. Certainly, that's my 2 cents. Yeah, I liked Silent Hill 4 in theory. I think it was a really interesting game. I think there were some things that were not good about it. The gameplay was frustrating, but I really liked the the ideas and the story was pretty good, but I really liked the room segments until they put all the ghosts and stuff in there. Let's see. Yeah, I thought that I was playing Downpour with a walkthrough, so I totally cheated. But yeah, I found it really annoying because the walkthrough would say, "Oh, go to, I don't know, Crescent Hills or whatever area of the map," and I would not know how to get there. So it was tough for me to figure out how to get there, and even with the walkthrough, you know, the map was confusing, and then they had the subway, which was helpful, but you had to like find weird things to unlock the subway, and then even the subway was confusing because you basically had to walk on these weird passageways to get from point A to point B. Have I played Lone Survivor? I did, and I quite liked it, and it was definitely a game we looked at very seriously, that and Home, on how to do a like a 2D horror game, because basically you know, a lot of, you know, starting with Resident Evil. I mean, obviously, if you go back to like, I think Clock Tower, and I mean, some of the, you know, sort of adventure-y game ones. I mean, there were some 2D horrors, but like you look at Alone in the Dark and Resident Evil, you know, sort of the grandfathers of survival horror, and they were in 3D. So. Yeah, we definitely looked at Lone Survivor, and we looked at Home to try and get a feel for how this would be done, and so yeah, I mean, I enjoyed Lone Survivor. It was definitely like a 2D Silent Hill demake, and you know, certainly the Konami hasn't been doing much with Silent Hill, so it was fun to sort of get something with that feel. Did I like Shattered Memories? Unfortunately, only played the the PSP version, but I would have I liked it still and would have liked to play it on Wii or PS2. Now, I'm not sure. I played it on Wii. I'm not sure because it was really designed for the Wii and sort of around the Wii hardware. And there were some things that were really good about it, like the Wiimote sort of working as a phone. That was really cool. But like those chase segments, man, were just awful on the Wii. You had to, you know, avoid the things, and I would always get confused on the map. And then I would try and look in the map, and then I would get assaulted by the enemies. And I was even flying a walkthrough, and it was still hard. So. Yeah, but I mean, I liked what they were trying to do. You know, the psychological aspect, I think, was a little heavy-handed for my taste. But, you know, I mean, certainly I'm biased, you know, having been in actual therapy. You know, I don't think any therapist has asked me, like, what my favorite color was or to draw something in crayons. But, I mean, I do think it was interesting that, like, they made the, oh, wow. Person closed the door. I think I missed that the last time. Yeah, it did look great for a Wii game, and it had a lot of cool and interesting ideas, and I did like sort of the lack of combat, and yeah, I like horror games without combat too. I think, you know, you feel less vulnerable when you have the combat, and you can also just sort of focus on the horror and the feelings. A lot of bugs. Bugs are gross. But yeah, I mean, I really liked Silent Hill Shattered Memories. Certainly, I think it was better than like Homecoming. Well, better than Homecoming. Homecoming was not very good, but I would say better than drawing a blank. Oh no, yeah, Homecoming's the one I meant. Sorry, Downpour was the one that was really not great. Homecoming was decent. It was pretty buggy. I was using a walkthrough, and they basically had all these steps to not get the puzzles to basically kill your save. So something interesting is when I played this the first time, there was a bunch of colored lantern things that I had to go through. I didn't have to do that this time, so that was interesting. Yeah, I don't think The Evil Within worked very well as a horror game to me either. And I mean, personally, I thought as an action game it was a little clumsy. I mean, just the controls weren't as tight as I would have liked them. Yes, in heaven everything is fine. That's a great Eraserhead reference. But I mean, I don't know. One thing I was thinking, you know, of potentially if I do more of these streams, you know, to stream the DLC for The Evil Within, which I haven't played. I don't know if have you played it? Is it any good? I think one thing they did remove the combat from the... Oh, I forgot her name. The female character. She did Kidman. There it is. And I think she's more stealth, which could be interesting, but I think Patrick Klepek on Kotaku wasn't like super in love with it, so I don't know. Evil Within felt like it was trying to be Dark Souls too much. I saw Steve Gaynor play Evil Within DLC. Did he like it? Saving by Pet a Cat is interesting. That is more the way I'd like the main game to be. Specifically petting cats or the stealth in the DLC. I imagine not specifically petting cats. He didn't like it too much. Okie doke. Well, that's good to know. Let's see. So we haven't gotten any new backers. Are you pestering your friends? Pestering your friends to back the project. Please pester your friends. Then I can sing. Yeah, I don't know. Did we get a new backer? I think we got a new backer. Someone, did we get a new backer? I forgot. I think maybe my browser messed up because Flash crashed. Well, if we assume we got a new backer, what do you guys want me to do? More singing? Hopefully not. Yeah, and the DLC where you play the safe head guy, I forget his name. That one seemed really weird. I'm not really sure. I'm not sure why one would connect the two. Or sorry, not why one would connect the two. Why that would sort of work in a horror game, playing the villain. And apparently he's not like stupidly overpowered, which you kind of feel like he should be stupidly overpowered. Keeper, yeah, I think that's right. This house must need a roach bait trap or two. Yeah, maybe a lot. I bought a pack of those, and they come in 18 packs. So, and they haven't killed all the bugs in our place. So maybe they need like 100 pack. That would be my guess. I had Flash, but I got rid of Flash, but Twitch still needs it. Yeah, it's interesting. I don't know. There was an article about Flash, and Tom Flup, I can't pronounce his name, but at the Behemoth, basically said that Steve Jobs killed Flash because Steve Jobs was mad at Apple, which is interesting. But I mean, in general, I think maybe Adobe just doesn't care about Flash anymore, and are trying to do, different things with it, different things with their dev time. But like, I find that Flash for me crashes all the time, and Firefox likes to say, it's insecure and don't load it and stuff. Do I predict Nintendo will change a lot now that Iwata is gone? That is a very interesting question, and I think it's a difficult one to answer because, I mean, who knows what the inner workings of Iwata, the inner workings of Nintendo and what Iwata did. But I think, he was a really good forward thinker, and I don't know if this is just a stereotype or not, but you hear a lot about, traditional Japanese businesses and how they're run, and I mean, usually it's not associated in a good way, and so I think, that Nintendo was very progressive with their Nintendo Direct, and, very honest and open to new ideas, and willing to admit, that the Wii U wasn't the best thing in the world, and so you kind of wonder if they're going to be that open, that forward thinking without Iwata. And I hope for their sake that yes, they'll continue to be forward thinking, but I think it really depends on who's replacing him. If they get, a very traditional sort of businessman, then I think it could bode poorly for Nintendo. But, I mean, I don't know what they have up their sleeves. And, sometimes it's right, like when Steve Jobs passed away, I mean, Apple just sort of kept on trekking, no major changes, no sort of interruptions or weird bumps, Some people said that Steve Jobs never would have made the 5 Plus or 6 Plus or whatever. I don't know if that's a true statement or not, but I mean, I think they've had a pretty smooth transition, all things considered, especially when people talk about Steve Jobs and his influence. A good DRM solution. WebM sucks. So just, I don't know, people talk up WebM, but we tried to put a WebM player in Neverending Nightmares, and we did. And, like, the tools for it are just terrible. Like, I don't know if it's that Google doesn't care or what, but, like, encoding a video for WebM is, like, 100 times slower than encoding a video for, like, H.264, which is really bad and annoying. So I don't really know, if Google even cares about WebM anymore. I don't know. So I don't really think WebM is the future of anything. But, it does, it's not encumbered by weird patent things, potentially, like H.264. Hitbox is working towards 4K 60 fps streaming. Yeah, I mean, certainly I think that's what everyone is working towards, 4K everything, but I mean, that is a lot of bandwidth for a difference that a lot of people I don't think will notice. So I mean, I'm all for 4K, and like I was thinking about, stretch goal of 4K support for Devastated Dreams. But I mean, I don't know if that's something you guys would want. I was going to do like a survey for stretch goals, but also, with 4K, it's like, we would have to buy 4K. None of the development team has 4K devices. And I mean, I was thinking about getting a 4K TV, but I mean they're expensive, and then there's not like a Blu-ray standard yet, 4K Blu-ray or whatever they're gonna call it. That doesn't exist, and then I'm like a big 3D video fan. I know I'm the only one, but then that doesn't really exist for 4K at all. So then, I mean, it seems like you're gonna buy the bleeding edge. It's like buying those 1080i TVs where, had you just waited, the 1080p standard would have been around. So I don't know. Silverlight is definitely helpful for DRM, and I imagine Flash as well. I imagine they're trying to solve that with HTML5. Do you think that no matter who is hired, that Nintendo NX is going to change? I don't know how significantly it will change, and the reason I say this is because, and I mean, it can change somewhat, in terms of software and the operating system, but when I interned at Microsoft in 2003 on the Xbox Software Services team, they were making the Xbox 360. I was not. I was working on Windows Media Center Extender for Xbox, which is the, most, I don't know, probably worst selling Microsoft product ever. It took me forever to actually find a copy of it. I don't think I'm credited. I don't think they do credits for things like that. But, I mean, the project was a disaster for many reasons. But, they already had in 2003, Xbox released in 2005, they had, the hardware planned. They had, the roadmap. It was just a matter of implementing it. And it was interesting because, around that time, someone took a picture of loading dock where they were loading a bunch of Macs, and then they got totally fired. I think it was like a contractor. But, one would think that, Microsoft having Macs is not the big deal because Microsoft, makes software for Macs. Like Office. But, I think that Microsoft knew those Macs were because they were developing Xbox 360 on the PowerPC chips inside the Macs. So, I mean, I don't know how much the NX can change. Steve hated large phones. 6 Plus would have happened if Steve was there. H.265. How much more difficult is it to develop for 4K? I mean, it depends, right? If you have a 3D game, 4K is you just set your rendering to 4K. For a 2D game, we need to do all of our art at 4K, which we try. We try to author at 4K, just in case. But we would have to make basically a compatibility pack for non 4K devices, because if we load our 4K textures, then that's a huge waste of VRAM, and also all of our textures are clamped to 2048 by 2048 in order to get maximum device compatibility. So we would have to go up to 4096 by 4096 for 4K support, and so I mean we'd have to conditionally load the textures and blah blah blah. And yeah, I mean my laptop is using 1366 by 1768. I have a thing. But let's see, 4K just needs more GPU. Developing isn't much different aside from higher resolution assets. Well, creating the higher resolution assets, if you're not really planning for it, is a challenge. And so, especially for a 2D game, where, it's not just a question of, I mean, if this game were rendered in 4K, right, the edges would be cleaner, probably, of the polygons. The textures would probably look better from a distance. But, this is essentially what you're looking at for a 2D game. You're looking at the texture up close. And so, the resolution really matters much more for a 2D game. So, yeah, it's... I mean, but I mean, the real cost, well, a significant cost is just, testing and getting the hardware. Because we don't have any 4K monitors, how do we know our game, works at 4K without testing it? And, then we test the 4K versions, and then, the software that also works with the, the regular 1080p. Because we design our game around 1080p. That's all of our textures are packed at 1080p as the target resolution. Except on Ouya, we have a special 720p texture pack version. Because that's what we run on Ouya, but then we had to add something that has 1080p textures for the Mad Catz Mojo, because we could actually run at 1080p. So it can be a bother, and I'm not sure, if we just have the 4K pack. Okay, this game is purely fictitious. It cannot harm you in any way, shape, or form. That's a different message than I got last time. That's kind of cool. So let's see. Okay. How did you and GT arrange to be on the show? Have you met Kyle Bosman before? His weekly show is great, and the mini movies he does at the end are often really creative. Basically, I met the GT guys at the Indie Mix event, I think sometime last year. And so, Elise and Ian are the ones that I know the best, and so I emailed Elise and I said, hey, are you going to come to the Indie Mix event? I'd love to show you Devastated Dreams. And she said, oh, probably not going to make it because we have something else going on. But you can come down and do GT Live. And I said, oh, I'd love to come down and do GT Live. And then, Kyle Bosman was the host, then I don't know, the rest is history. I think that went really well. I was really happy with that, and Kyle was a really great host and a really great guy on a personal level. Everyone was really great at Game Trailers, so that's the story behind that. I like the mini movies. So let's see. I think I already forgot what I'm supposed to be doing. I have not played D&D since middle school. Maybe I will do one of the tabletop sessions at some point. I don't know. I'm really busy, so I try to. I'm gonna be even busier. I'm not gonna be doing much. Come end of August when I have a newborn baby. So we'll see. But I mean, they're super cool, and I really enjoy being on their shows and just talking to them. Elise and I are both big Muppet fans too, so we chat a lot about the Muppets. So I heard the first baby laugh, and I forgot what I was supposed to do. It's the guy that knows, the Racketeer. I don't still around. Now am I supposed to do 10 steps? Or do I stand still? Who's your favorite Muppet? That is a tough question. I like them all. I don't know, I like Gonzo a lot. It kind of depends. Kermit, of course. Well, I got Kermit here. Was bouncing on my head. And then I got Animal. Big fan of Animal, too. I don't know, I like them all. 10 steps first, stand still second. Okay. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Okay, that works. So someone knows what they're doing. and that person is definitely not me. Okay, it's rumbling. I'm doing it. Do I like the Swedish Chef? Oh my gosh, do I ever love the Swedish Chef? I went to Walt Disney World when I was in like 6th grade, and they had like a Muppet Vision 3D, and then they had a Muppet store, and I purchased a Swedish Chef shirt, and I loved it so much. I wore it from like 6th grade until I think like a few years ago I finally had to throw away my Swedish Chef shirt because, I mean, it did not age well. Yeah, but I totally love the Swedish Chef. And interesting Swedish Chef trivia, like it was 2 characters and he has real human being hands. Or sorry, it was 2 actors. One person did the mouth and the voice and the other did the hands. And so I think the person who did the hands would often try and screw up the person doing the mouth and the face and throw props at them. So it's kind of an interesting dynamic. So it looks like I've totally mastered the PT demo twice. I guess you don't have to say Lareth, you just have to talk, which like the very, very first time I was playing it, I obviously was not streaming it, so I wasn't talking. So that made it basically impossible, I think. But anyway, I think I'm probably going to wrap down the stream now that I'm the PT demo master. Oh, I didn't get this jump scare with her grabbing me this time. That was a bummer. So yeah, I'm a huge Statler and Waldorf. That was the other shirt I had from 6th grade that I wore until like a year ago. Yeah, the Statler and Waldorf shirt, and then they had a bunch of their quotes on the back, which was really funny. And then yeah, my Swedish Chef shirt. But yeah, I'm gonna wind this down, so get your last minute questions in, and also tell your friends to back the project. The first weekend is often really tough for Kickstarter projects just because it's not as active on the weeks as during the week, so you know, hopefully we can get some more backers in on the weekend. So tell your friends. Back Devastated Dreams if you haven't already. Yeah, I mean, I hope you enjoyed this stream thing, and if you like it, I mean, I can try and do more of these things. And yeah, any last minute questions? Yeah, certainly, I think they definitely canceled Silent Hills. I don't think there's any doubt about that. They might make more Silent Hill games, but the Silent Hills, as this incarnation was supposed to be, was canceled. Should definitely stream more often. Yeah. Okay. I mean, I was thinking of maybe doing like a Saturday stream for the campaign. Yeah. We'll see. Yeah, I think the game is much better when I'm not talking through it. The thank you for backing the project. But yeah, I think the game's better when I'm not talking through it and talking about other things. The audio design is really great. A commentary-less playthrough would be good. Well, hey, FKMT, or HVY, heavy fucking metal, I guess, is what it's supposed to be. Do you have any requests? I was doing requests for new backers and whatnot. So, yes, if you have requests, before I sign off, I will do something silly. And yes, thank you for the retrograde support. I'm glad you guys enjoyed the playthrough of PT demo. Actually, dual playthroughs. I made it through twice. Second time was easier. No request. Okay, you can save it for a rainy day. No, it's my pleasure. I mean, I hope the Kickstarter is successful, and I hope I can keep making, you know, cool games that you guys love. And I think to me as a creator, the community is really important. I really love to get, positive responses and to have that community. And if you're interested, I don't know if you guys post on the forum. I'm super active on the forum. It's a great place if you want to just chat with me about whatever. And so here I'm patting myself on the back. So yeah, I'm really glad you guys dig my games, and yeah, definitely we want to pull this Kickstarter off. It's all Kickstarters are a challenge, I think, unless somehow it just goes super viral. But I think the rest of us have to really work at it, and also really try and get the community to rally around it. So I'm hopeful that you guys can tell your friends and spread the word and pester your favorite streamers and try and get Markiplier to play it. That's been my mission. But now I really appreciate your guys' support, and I'm really glad you enjoy the games we've made. Sorry, I'm overly emotional. But no, that's cool. I'm glad you like my developer diaries, and I don't know, wait like 2 minutes for any last questions. Probably not. Well, I guess if I wait 2 minutes, then I just have to sit here. Let's see where I am on the stream, how far I'm behind. Well, maybe the stream is caught up. So, okay. Well, thanks for watching, guys. I really appreciate it. Let's see if I can figure out how to end this stream. That was not the button. Okie doke. I think I'm almost there. Okay. Bye-bye. Oh, what shirt am I wearing? I'm wearing the Never-Ending Nightmares shirt. You didn't see? Yeah, so I'm wearing the Never-Ending Nightmares shirt.